puffs, yes, parents. Can you believe it's already November? That's right. The weather is changing a little bit. It's getting a little colder outside. I'm ready for some colder weather. I'm kind of done with that warm weather. So I'm glad for the weather change that's coming around now that we're getting actually into fall. I just wanted to update you on some of the things we've got going on, things we have done. Last weekend, both Friday and Saturday, myself, Mr. Nodine, and Mrs. Carsley all got a chance to go to the Q Conference. It's right down the road here in American Canyon, which, by the way, if you've never been to American Canyon High School, I mean, that campus looks more like a college campus. It's pretty incredible. But the Q Conference, they've got two of them each year, the fall conference and then a spring conference. The fall conference is here, the spring conference is in Southern California. The Q conferences are some of the preeminent education technology conferences in the country, and people come from all over for these conferences. So they're cutting edge. They've got great sessions, great keynote speakers. Brad Montague was the keynote speaker this year. He's the guy behind Kid President. I don't know if you've ever seen those YouTube videos, but he's the guy behind those. Great keynote speaker. Sessions were definitely fantastic. We learned a lot of cool stuff, especially technology related, that we can incorporate in the classroom to help engage students. And that's the biggest thing, is we want to find ways to engage students so that they want to engage with the material. If you can find ways to do that, then that makes those students intrinsically motivated to learn, instead of constantly having to dangle that carrot, that extrinsic motivation. By just simply changing a few things in the way that you deliver some of the material, it makes them more interested in it. And technology allows us to do that in a very quick and sometimes simple way. So we've brought back already a lot of different things that we can use. I know Mrs. Carsley has already used Flipgrid in her classroom, which is a website that allows students to record videos. Those videos are only ever viewed by students in that classroom. But it allows the students to engage and express themselves in a video format that they wouldn't necessarily be able to do in a written format or in a typed format. I'm probably going to use it in some of my classes as well, but it's a great tool, something we're looking forward to using. I had one session called the Blended Learning in the Station Rotation Model, which I want to go into all the ramifications of that. But there are lots of techniques and things in that we can also use in the classroom to help engage the students and help draw them into the material that we're trying to teach them. I had a lot of other great sessions. I actually won a chip called a BBC Microbit, and on this little chip, it's pretty incredible. It's got 3 accelerometers. There's a thermometer. It's Bluetooth connected, so when you use this for experiments, for example, if they suggested using it for like science experiments for physics, you can drop it and then see how many G's are generated, and then you can find ways, the students then have to find ways to soften the landing, to reduce the number of G's that it has when it falls, and all that data that it generates, it just by Bluetooth goes straight to your iPad. So you don't have to connect it to anything. The data is instantaneously available to you. So any sorts of experiments with movement, any sorts of experiments with temperature change, those sorts of things, this little microbit is great for those. Mr. Nodine is salivating over this thing already. We're talking about picking up a few more for the science classes as well. And just great things like that that we never ever would have heard about otherwise. But going to these sessions, talking to these professionals in technology, you learn all kinds of things. There are professionals from Google there, other great corporations, Microsoft, and some other corporations that have websites that help education. We got to talk to a lot of people. So we brought a lot back. We're presenting slowly to all the information. We don't want to overload people. We're slowly presenting it to all the teachers here. We're also going to present at a conference coming up. We've got in January, we're bringing 3, maybe 4 Christian schools together. We're going to do some professional development with all those Christian schools together, including Monterey Bay Christian School, where Pastor Jason is at, Natomas Christian School, and then there's another Christian school up in Redding that may join us as well. We just got introduced to those guys. They actually just started using Ignitia, so we're going to hook up with them, and we're all going to come together, and we're going to share ideas and try to enrich ourselves. And that's a huge takeaway from this last weekend as well. It's just a great reminder that we're all learners. We should all be learners for life. We can never stop learning. We should always be looking to improve ourselves, whether that's in our personal life, our professional life, or in our walk with Jesus Christ. We should constantly be wanting to get deeper into that relationship, constantly be wanting to gain in knowledge and wisdom. Luke chapter 2, verse 52 says that Jesus had to grow in stature and wisdom and with influence with both God and man. And so if Jesus had to do that, how much more do we also have to grow and expand and become more wise as we engage in life and engage in our relationship with Jesus. So just a reminder, we all need to be constant learners throughout our lives. All right, lots of great things taking place on campus here. It's Superhero Day because it's Spirit Week this week. So I got my Wolverine shirt on here. I've got Captain America hat going on, so I'm good for Sports Day. Superhero Day today. Tomorrow is Sports Day. We've had different days throughout the week. All the kids are dressing up. It's been a lot of fun. The elementary teachers will be ready for Spirit Week to be done because it is a bit of a distraction in the classroom. But it's fun for just 1 week to get a lot of kids to kind of dress up, show their school spirit as they engage in all the things we have going on here on campus. And tomorrow, Mr. Fortney may or may not be wearing a Ben Roethlisberger jersey. Huge Steelers fan, so we're going to be trash talking all the different sports teams. My team's better. No, my team's better. I'm sure there'll be lots of Raiders and Niners fans here, and I'll be able to say that the Steelers are better than both of those teams. So it'll be great. And then next week, just a normal week, except for Friday of next week. Next Friday, November 10th, no school. That is Veterans Day. So just be aware of that. No school on November 10th. The week after, we have a normal week, and then we have Thanksgiving break after that. So a few breaks coming up here. I know a lot of the kids are looking forward to Thanksgiving break. And one more important date I want you guys to note down on your calendars. December 8th. December 8th will be our Christmas variety show. Make sure that is on your calendar. That date is free. It's a Friday night. All the classes will be doing something, showing off their gifts, talents, and abilities during the variety show. And it's also a great time for the Fairfield Christian School family just to come together to see people, greet one another, and to celebrate the school as a whole. So I'm looking forward to December 8th. It's a Friday night. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there, and we'll all have a great time together. And then obviously Christmas break is coming up after that as well. I'm looking forward to the holiday season as it's coming up, although it's coming up very quickly, a little too quickly for me. I know some teachers are already playing Christmas music in their classrooms. I'm more of a traditionalist. I wait until after Thanksgiving to start playing Christmas music, but my wife vehemently disagrees with me. In fact, she and my daughter are watching Hallmark Christmas movies like crazy right now, which means Mr. Fortney is spending a lot of time in the man cave. Anyway, I digress. Christmas is coming very quickly in the holiday season. It's a great season. You know, people tend to be a little nicer, I think, sometimes, but also I think people tend to be a little bit more open to various things, which means we as Christians, that means that's an opportunity for us to introduce Jesus Christ to people. Christmas has Christ right in the name. It should be an open invitation for us to speak the gospel into people's lives. We should never be embarrassed about speaking about Jesus. We should never be worried about offending people with the gospel. We should be ready and willing at any opportunity to talk about Jesus Christ in our relationship. And as the Christmas season comes forward, there's going to be lots of opportunities to do that. So engage in that yourself. Encourage your kids to do that as well. We're encouraging them to be witnesses here on campus and off campus as they're interacting with friends who may not know Christ. And like I said, the Christmas season is a prime opportunity to do that. All right. It's been a great week this week. A little crazy with Spirit Week, but we've gotten through it. Hope to see you guys real soon. If not before then at least at December 8th at our Christmas variety show. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this semester. There's not a whole lot left, but looking forward to seeing you guys real soon as well. Have a great week. God bless.